let's talk, man. Yo, shout out to Killer Mike. I want to give a shout out to Killer Mike because he checked T.I. ass at that Revolt summit. I didn't like how T.I. was doing that girl Candace. He was really riding her really hard. Candace has a lot of valid points. You know what I'm saying? And I got this damn do-rag hanging out. What you call it? And it's like they just jumped all over her because she supports Trump or she's down with Trump. I really don't know what's her ordeal, but I just see that a lot of people wasn't feeling her because of her affiliation with Trump. But what she was saying in terms of immigration was right. If you from New York like me, or probably like from LA, I even see it in Atlanta, especially in New York. I won't even say this piece of shop name. I won't put them on blast like that. But there's this piece of shop from my neighborhood in New York. I never seen them hire a black person. Never hired a black person in there. Italian piece of shop, right? But they got a bunch of Mexicans working in there off the books. Never hired a black person, but got a bunch of Mexicans in there working off the books, right? Because they taking less than minimum wage. There's a lot of places in New York that have a lot of illegal immigrants working there just so they don't have to pay people minimum wage, which is, in New York, I don't even know how much it is right now. It's probably like $11 or something like that. But it's so many jobs being taken away from people, by illegal immigrants because these companies don't want to pay people. You know what I'm saying? And when she was saying that, she made a very valid point. You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't trying to hear her out when it came to that just because she got an affiliation with Trump, which I feel is stupid. Like, what Trump is trying to do as far as that goes, like, he's trying to make it so Americans can get paid. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with that. Him wanting to build a wall is nothing wrong with that if he's trying to make it to where we can where he can secure jobs for Americans, right? So that's the point that she was making, and they was jumping down her throat like she was saying something crazy. Now, if you don't experience that in your city, then you can't relate. But for me in New York, if ask anybody in New York, you go in stores, all you see is a bunch of Mexicans, and I don't got anything against Mexicans at all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody need to earn a living. But the people that went through slavery for hundreds of years should be able to get a job first. And they don't ride down on these corporations and these companies. They don't send ICE up in these companies and shut their stores down for having all these illegal immigrants working in there. You know what I'm saying? How many people you see hire illegal immigrants for cleaning services? Think about how many Think about how many Americans started cleaning companies, and they not getting business because a lot of illegal immigrants, they hire these illegal immigrants to come and clean their houses. I even know people that do that. You know what I'm saying? These people don't have no green card. They not here legally, and these people will let these people come into their house and clean, but scared to let a black person come into their house or hire their company to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the girl Candace Owens had a valid point there. Now, when T.I. talking about when was America great? When was America ever great? You know, even if she started off, like he said, you started with some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Even if she did start off, he didn't even give her a chance to make her point. He kept rudely interrupting her, and it looked like a man bullying a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a woman. You supposed to just let her talk, make her point, even if she never made a point. Let her talk, finish, and then you spark her at the end like, yo, you didn't say nothing, or you didn't make the point. But I think that Killer Mike stepped in because he felt like she was being bullied. You know what I'm saying? Not that just because she didn't give the answer, because I don't think she ever had the opportunity to give the answer. You know what I'm saying? She was trying to build up and make a point, and people booing her, and T.I. interrupting her, and he was doing that all because they had a hatred towards her because of her affiliation with Trump. You know what I'm saying? Nobody did that to Tameka when she was talking. Nobody did that to the other girl when she was talking. But it was like everybody was attacking the girl Candace. You know what I'm saying? Now, what Killer Mike said, he even said, you know, this is my friend, and I'm going to correct my friend. He sparked the shit out of T.I. He read that nigga up and down, back and forth, diagonally, and T.I. didn't cut him off. T.I. didn't start yelling at him. He didn't. Killer Mike started off with niggas. And even though he tried to clean it up with, I mean, N-E-G-U-S, niggas is niggas. You know what I'm saying? We know you was saying nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing I didn't like about that panel. It was too much cursing, too much profanity, too much word nigga being thrown around. Like, I understand it was a hip-hop summit or a Revolt summit, but that summit could have it could have probably got played on CNN. It could have probably got played on Fox. It could have got played on PBS. It could have got played in schools for kids to see if they just kept their profanity clean. They didn't need to be cursing. There's a bunch of grown people up on the stage, and they up there cursing like a bunch of little kids. Like a bunch of ignorant people cursing. And it would have been more impactful and more powerful had they just conducted themselves as grown, intelligent, intellectual people. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? I know I was offended by all the cursing. Like, I was like, Dad, why they cursing so much? And it could have been used in schools. It could have been used in colleges. But people aren't going to use that with all that profanity going on and everything. Like, it was crazy. But Killer Mike made a valid point, and I'm glad that he checked T.I. He checked T.I. All them big words that T.I. be using, they ain't do nothing for him when it came to Killer Mike. He read that dude. T.I. was quiet as a church mouse. He didn't interrupt him. He didn't interrupt him at all. He didn't say nothing. And I know he had nothing to do with his size. That dude, his intellect was too much for T.I. And he gave him a good answer. I don't even know if he brought up America was great when we had Black Wall Street or whatever. But it don't even matter. The fact is that they jumped on Candace Owens because of her affiliation with Trump. And it really made T.I. look like a bully talking to that woman like that. And like, you started off with some bullshit. Like, he cursing at her. Like I don't even know. Like, man, that was embarrassing. I know Tiny probably was cringing like, oh, that's my husband. What is my husband doing? Oh, my God, Tip. Like, But so shout out to Killer Mike. And even though I didn't like the profanity, you did make a valid point, so I tip my hat to you, brother. You got that one for me. You know what I mean? I don't know about the rest of the summit. I didn't go. I wasn't there. Didn't care to go. Jeff Johnson, you was kind of weak as a moderator. You supposed to have been telling them dudes, hey, watch your language. When T.I. was attacking that girl, you was supposed to intervene and be like, hey, brother, that's a sister right there. Let the sister talk. You kept letting him interrupt her like you was scared of him. You know what I'm saying? You the moderator. You supposed to keep everybody in check. You was weak. They needed a Don Lemon or somebody like that up there to do that moderation. Jeff Johnson, I got love for you. Since you was used to come on Rap City when I was producing, when we used to call you Cousin Jeff. You know what I'm saying? You done cut your dreads. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was there, because if I was there, I would have walked up to that stage and said, yo, Jeff, what are you doing? You supposed to have been checking T.I. as a man. Forget everything else. Forget you being a moderator. As a man controlling the situation, you were supposed to tell him, yo, brother, let that woman talk. Let her make her point. It don't matter what she started off with. She probably could have ended great. But we will never know. Because you was a chump and then intervene and stop that brother from barking on that woman like that. So you look just as weak. That's all I got to say about that. Shout out to Killer Mike. The other thing, you know what else? The other thing that I wanted to address that I also agree with Killer Mike. Killer Mike, you about to win me over, brother. You lost me on that that special you had on Netflix, or that thing you had on Netflix. But you about to win me over. You winning me over, my brother. You winning me over. The Waffle House with Tameka Mallory was talking to you about the Waffle House. Like you, I agree. I'm not boycotting the Waffle House, because every time I go in the Waffle House, a black person is serving me. Real talk. A black person serves me every time I go to the Waffle House. There are black people working in there. Now, why I continue to go to the Waffle House is for this reason. Let's just say we all boycotted the Waffle House. And and a lot of these Waffle Houses are independently owned. A black person could have owned that Waffle House. You know what I'm saying? It's a franchise. People buy Waffle Houses. Just like Rick Ross owns Wingstop. He don't own every Wingstop. You know what I'm saying? With the Waffle House situation, if we boycotted Waffle House and we put them out of business, is that going to stop the police from killing people? No. So, my thing was this. If the woman that worked at the Waffle House was a racist and she called the police, that ain't got nothing to do with how the police handled the situation. The woman didn't put the hands on the girl. The cop did. Now, like Killer Mike said, that's their policy if they want to charge you for silverware in some of them. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's their policy or not. Let's say it's not their policy, right? And the girl got into a beef with the worker and she called the cops, right? If the cop comes to the Waffle House and acts up and gets physical with the girl, if he asking the girl to get up and leave, we all know, don't argue with the police. It ain't that serious. You gonna argue with a cop over some silverware? Like, you're going to argue over the cop over anything. No, you get up, you walk outside, you present your case to the cop. You don't tell the cop, yo, I ain't going nowhere. No, I ain't leaving to the point to where he drag you outside. You know, now, this is where I disagree with these activists or these protesters. Y'all want to protest the Waffle House. The cop is the one that was out of order. He's the one that put his hands on the girl. Why didn't y'all go to the precinct? Speak to his superior officer. Try to get that cop arrested for disorderly conduct, assault, whatever it may be. Try to get his pension taken. Do something to hurt the cop for being excessive, using excessive force when it probably wasn't necessary. Boycotting the Waffle House is not going to stop the cops from killing us. Boycotting the NFL is not going to stop the cops from killing us. So why do y'all keep trying to boycott these businesses and not taking it straight to the police department, the commissioners, the mayors, the governors? Like, going after these businesses is only going to get y'all a check to try to shut the people up or get the people to come and spend money with them. That's all it is. That's the same thing with Jay-Z and the NFL. They just cut him a check to get people to stop boycotting or to start watching NFL again or whatever. Like, when are we going to hold the police accountable? Just like in the case with Eric Garner. They just kept riding the governor. They kept riding the mayor. They kept riding the judges until they got that cop pension ticket. No, he didn't go to jail. He should have been charged with murder for Eric Garner. But if you keep going after the police, then something happened. That cop lost his pension. Eric Garner got choked out in front of that bodega. Did y'all want us to why y'all didn't tell us to protest the bodega? Because they called the cops because he was standing in front of their store. It wouldn't make sense, right? Was we supposed to protest the bodega because he was standing in front of the store? And he didn't even have cigarettes that day. But let's just say he had cigarettes that day. Rest in peace, Eric Garner, and was selling cigarettes in front of the store. And the owner of the store called the cops, and they choked him out like that. Are we supposed to be protesting the bodega? No, it's the cops that killed him. So that is the same thing that applies with the Waffle House. It's the same thing that applies with the NFL. The corporations are not out here killing people. The stores, these businesses are not out here dragging people, macing people, shooting people. It's the police. It has to be a united front against the cops, not against the Waffle House. The girl that worked in the Waffle House did not put her hands on that girl. She did what she was supposed to do. Call the police if there's a problem with the customers. If the cop come there and he acts out of order, the cop should be held responsible. Y'all protesting the Waffle House, and this cop is still going to work every day, still making money. And then y'all want to protest the Waffle House and put some more black people out of work. And it was a white person that called the cop on the girl. So a white person calls the cop on a black girl. We protest the Waffle House and put black people out of business. They ain't had nothing to do with it. Out of work. That had nothing to do with it. If you live in Atlanta, you see it's predominantly black. Most of the workers in the Waffle House are black people. Why would we put them out of work? and let the cop keep going. Once he leave that Waffle House and file that report with this girl, he's off he's off doing his next job. He's back in his cruiser patrolling the area. Probably gonna shoot another innocent black person, or beat another innocent black person. So this is why I agree with Killer Mike again about the Waffle House. He made another valid point. Why are we gonna protest the Waffle House and not the police? Sometimes I feel like before anybody get offended, some of these protesters use that for them to get a check from these corporations. Some. So if it don't apply, let it fly. Some of y'all go and y'all protest the Waffle House. They give y'all a check. Y'all go away, and then y'all go buy some new shoes, some new sneakers, a new car, a new bed, or whatever it may be. And then the cop is still out here whipping people's ass. So, shout out to Killer Mike. You made a very valid point. I wish you didn't use so much profanity on the stage along with everybody else at that Revolt Summit. Like, y'all was cursing up a storm. Like, if somebody brought their kids there, they had to cover their ears. Y'all was acting ignorant. It's all love, but y'all was acting ignorant. When you go back and you look at that, it was more cursing than a Quentin Tarantino movie. But all right, that's all I got to say about the Revolt thing. People asked me to talk about it, so I was going to do it on YouTube, but I'll take this and upload it on YouTube. You know what I mean?